All right, my guy Kenneth, man, what's up? Talk to
What's
me,
going on,
man.
bro?
What's
No, what's
going
going
on,
on,
man?
man? No, everything's straight, man. Everything's straight. What about you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. All right, man. Let's jump in. You want to start
Let's
with your team,
go.
or you want to start with my team?
Nah, let's start with yours, man. I was boring.
Hey, hey. I mean, it's a cracker of a game, man. Cracker of a
Great
game.
game. Great
Great
game for
game.
sure.
Great game, man. Great game. Yeah. I, I mean, a lot of people didn't give us a chance, going into the game. A lot of people
For sure.
didn't give us any hope. I mean, that's how it's been that's how it's been the last what 3 or 4 games. I mean, I know most Chelsea my fault most Chelsea YouTubers when we looked at the schedule when the schedule first came out, we were like, all right, the first four or so games are all must wins, and then these last 3 or 4, which was Arsenal, Tottenham, Brentford, City. Then after the break, you got Newcastle. Then we have Newcastle, and then we have United. So we were like, well, hey, we'll just take our losses here and there. We'll take the draws. We'll take the wins if it comes. But yeah, man, this game specifically, when I looked at the lineup, I was a little confident. I was a little confident going into it because I knew it would be an open game. I knew City was
hmm
going to definitely try to come out and play, which, City, that's what they do. But I
hmm
also knew that if we were able to take our chances, I don't think that City defense is as formidable as it should be. You know what I mean? They don't keep a lot of clean sheets. So I knew if we
hmm
penetrated, we can get 1 or 2 goals scored. Um, so yeah, looking at the lineup, also I suspected, Sanchez in goal, Disasi, and Thiago Silva, two great center backs. Not great, but two center backs that are good. I mean, I said Disasi there, so I had to had to really back in, but he had a good game.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then you got Cucurella, then you got my captain, Rich James, you know, and then you got the midfield. The midfield has been, I think, going into the season. I think the midfield was one that had a lot of question marks, especially Conor Gallagher. But then you have Enzo and you have Caicedo, and then you have the front three of Cole Palmer and Jackson and Sterling. So
hmm
yeah, looking into it, I felt confident. I felt confident that whatever City brings, as long as we're able to keep it straight for the first 15, 20, 30 minutes, weather the storm a little bit, we should be fine. Now going into the game, the first goal, I don't think that's a penalty. Well, here's the thing: it's a penalty, but you got to call the foul first. You got to call that first foul. You have to call that first foul. I mean, the guy. That's what Haaland usually does, though. That's what if you watch a lot
Yeah,
of Haaland, he bullies the defenders and
for
then
sure.
gets in front of the ball. So if you're gonna pull him back, that's a foul to begin with. But Vieira never went back to the first initial foul. They just went to the penalty. They didn't even review what happened to Corella. So
Yeah,
I mean,
I mean, nah, I mean, the first foul I feel like was a 50-50 foul. It could have
so
gone
just let the
either.
game play on then. Just then
And
at
that's
that
what he
point,
did. And that's what he did. And then Cucurella just he got beat. And then it's the same thing that happened when Man City played Man U. I think it was on Rodri or Diaz with Hoyland. It was the same. It's the
hmm
same exact foul. So it's just like if that's going to be called, then you have to call the one against Cucurella, especially when the first foul was a 50-50 foul. It wasn't blatant. Like it could have gone either way, depending on what camera angle they was looking at or whatever it may be. So I
because
mean,
apparently Vieira never went back to the initial foul on Cucurella. They never went
yeah,
that far back. They just looked at the Holland
there's
situation
what
and
that the
went with that.
initial.
No, you
Yeah.
can't do that though. You can't. You have to call both ways, man.
No, I get it. The whole VAR thing, man, it's getting a bit shaky for sure. It's getting a bit shaky for sure. But I definitely feel like that first foul, with it being the way it was, it could have gone either way. So they just let it play on. But then that second one, he had to call it. Like no questions asked. He had to call it. He got beat. He thought he could recover, and then Holland's just too strong to make anything happen to make it into a 50-50 duel. So nah, that was definitely a PK for sure.
Yeah. It is a PK. I don't think I'm not disputing the PK aspect of it. But I think
Yeah,
just go back to the initial one and call the initial one then, because that one
yeah,
is a foul. That's a foul. If I'm a defender, I'm pissed. That's a
yeah.
foul.
Nah, for
Uh,
sure, for sure.
but yeah, I mean, after they scored, honestly, I was like, this is about to be maybe a 2-0 score line, maybe a 3-0. I honestly didn't see us getting back into it that quickly. I honestly didn't see us, didn't see us
Nah,
doing that. But yeah, the boys fought back, man. The boys fought back, just as how they did against Tottenham. They fought back early,
Yeah,
fought back to level it up 1-1, and then we went 2-1 up. Now, I think that is my biggest concern now. We are a very young and naive team. We really look into it because you go 2-1 up, any established old team will be like, all right, let's just see it out till halftime. Once we get back, we'll be fine. Now you go 2-1 up, Rich James ball cross to Sterling, open goal, tap in. Stop me, Sterling, regular stuff. Now I need the likes of Thiago Silva. I need the likes of Disasi. I need Rich James, Cucurella to pattern up in the back. But we leave Akanji wide open. And the dice end of the first half levels it up 2-2.
yeah.
Man, any thoughts on that one, man? Because I think watching that game, that period of it showed me where my team is at compared to City, right? It showed me that we are still a young, naive team, whereas City may be where I went into halftime with that lead because they are established. They know what
Yeah,
they're doing. Yeah.
yeah. No, I think for me, one thing Chelsea has shown throughout the year so far is I feel like in the big games, you guys will be going toe for
There's
toe.
space. There's space. There's space in
There's
the
always
big
going to be
games.
space, and it's gonna benefit the likes of Jackson, Sterling, Cole, Mudryk off the bench. Like those, like that's the type of game that suits you guys versus going up against the lower teams where you guys are gonna have to
The low
work
blocks.
the low blocks where you guys have to work, be a little bit more tidy on the ball versus in the big games it's going to be up and down. I mean, you got show first game against Liverpool and then
Hmm.
Tottenham. Have you guys played
Arsenal.
Arsenal?
We
Yeah,
played Arsenal
Arsenal.
2-2.
So it's just like
Man
these
City
those are the type of
4-4.
these are the type of games that's going to suit you guys very very well. So no, I mean, and especially the fact I think he kind of got it wrong because he started with Doku. Usually in the
Hmm.
big games, he would prefer a little bit more control, and that's when Grealish would come in.
Grealish.
So
Yeah.
nah, so I mean, starting at Doku, that's where you kind of raise your eyebrow, like, okay, that's a little bit different. That's not what Pep will usually do in the big game. You would prefer to have a little more control, keep the ball a little more, and that plays the Grealish's hand. So even Grealish coming on, I think he came on like around 60th or something, 60 or
Yeah,
70th.
60th minute.
And I think at that point, with the way the game was going, like it's going to be a little bit harder for him to come in and exert himself and control the game. Versus if he was to come in maybe like at halftime, I
Yeah.
mean, at halftime, granted, right at halftime, they came out and scored, which
Came,
is
came
which
out
is
and
great.
scored. Came
Came
out
out
and
and scored,
scored.
which is great. And I think that at that point, if you brought on Grealish a little bit earlier, he probably would have maybe slowed the game down, which would benefit City. Then at that point, they could probably see the game out. And then if you guys were to be a little bit more clinical on the break at that point, then hands off to you guys. But I think, like I said, these type of games would definitely suit you guys, suit you to the players that you guys have as well. So I think Pep, he definitely got it wrong by starting Goku or Doku. Then at that point, I mean, the last the players for you guys. I mean, Palmer, he game by game, he's
Hey,
showing that
cold, cold,
he's showing that he
cold,
belongs.
cool Palmer. Cold, cool
Game by
Palmer,
game.
man.
Nah, game by game, he's definitely showing he belongs, whether it's playing centrally or on the wings. He could do it. He can play. Even if he means dropping a little bit deeper, like he could definitely play. Game by game, he's showing he can play. Sterling probably his best game of the season for you
Yeah, I think
guys.
I think Sterling's man of the match for me. I think Sterling's man of the
Nah,
match. I think
definitely.
he wanted it. He wanted it. Like he
Nah,
wanted
he
to prove a
definitely wanted
point.
it. Yeah, no, definitely. This was probably his best game of the season. He wanted it. Was always giving Kyle trouble on that left side. So nah, this game, kudos to you guys. Definitely surprised me by the amount of goals that you guys did score. Four. You guys always just
Yeah,
struggle, like I said, against the lower teams. But in these type of
and we could
games,
have
like
scored more. We could have scored. I
definitely
mean,
could have scored more.
if you look at the chance that Gusto had, I
Yeah,
mean, granted it
man.
was on his weaker foot, but
Yeah,
he put that in. Slide that in
yeah.
the bottom corner.
Easy.
That is it's a whole different ballgame. I think City
Yeah,
will come out more, and we might get one or two more chances. But
yeah,
we do create a lot of chances. That's one thing
yeah,
about this team that I actually do like.
yeah.
Any other Chelsea team would have just sat back after the 2-1, or would have sat
Mm-hmm.
back after the 3-3, and would have tried
Yeah,
to absorb more pressure. But you can't do
yeah.
it against this City side. They're gonna break you down. I
You
mean,
gotta have a goal.
the moments when they scored that fourth goal was just them just passing it from side to side, trying to create an
Yeah,
overload. And
yeah,
granted, it was a lucky goal, but that's what happens when, as a
yeah.
defender, you're just sitting in the middle, pressing and waiting for an opportunity to win the ball back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, now
honestly,
this city side, and I was gonna say this city side, you just gotta have a go at them. Even if Grealish is on the field, you just have to have a go at them. This year they don't seem as solid as they were last year. I mean, granted they brought in Vardio,
Hmm.
but in
But he's playing
terms
left
of
back.
he's
Yeah,
playing
he's
left
playing
back,
left back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like their overall solidity that they had last year versus now. I wouldn't say they're quite as solid as it used to be. But like I said, with this city team, you just have to go at them. If not, if you just let them pick you apart, they'll do what they do best, and score goals, just win the game. So, no, I mean, I definitely feel like Pep definitely got it wrong a little bit by starting Doku, which played into you guys' hands, and then allow for you guys to play the game that you guys want to play.
I also want to big up Sanchez. I mean, I think this is probably one of
Mm.
his best games in a Chelsea shirt. I mean, had
Yeah,
that save
nah,
against Haaland, 1-on-1 against Haaland, saved that. I think there was another shot as well. I don't know if it was Foden or Bernardo,
yeah,
saved it.
nah.
So yeah, I think Sanchez
Even
Sanchez had a good game.
even starting off the build up, I saw a few times where he played it through. He played it through a few lines, starting off the play for you guys. So no, he definitely also had a good game. No, Chelsea just overall played very very well. He's got to get a few pieces together to make it all
Mm-hmm.
come together, and then they got a chance to make something happen.
I think one improvement I think that I saw, especially in midfield, was Caicedo. I think
Hmm. Play
his read
well.
of the he played well, but I think he bit a little bit too early on some
Hmm.
occasions and left the whole entire backline exposed and there's so much space for City to attack. And that's how they scored. I think was it their second or third goal? The third
I think it
goal.
was a third. There
Third.
was a
Yep.
few times where, especially when Bernardo got put centrally,
Hmm.
when Bernardo got moved centrally, that's when at that point he was able to get the ball, play a few feints, to get by Caicedo because he was definitely coming up aggressively. So once Pep made that little change, then at that point it was easier for City to break through the middle with
Hmm.
Caicedo coming up as aggressively as he was. But no, I mean Caicedo, he played a solid game. He definitely he did what he could. He did what he could.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I think Cucurella too, I mean, having an early yellow card and being disciplined against that 2v1, because that's what City did against him all game, create that 2v1
Yeah,
overload. I think he stayed disciplined as well. And I mean, and our attacking players also did a great job coming back to help. I mean, we saw that
yeah,
last dish defended by Sterling, like, the dying angels of the game where he came in two tackle Foden and told him to get the fuck up.
yeah.
That means
Nah,
they wanted it. They wanted it. So I mean, overall, great game from the players. I think Pochettino team needs some little bit of credit. That's why his substitutions got us back in the game. I mean, even a small thing like bringing on Broya to
yeah.
try to get a penalty.
That Mudryk sub kind of changed things. He
Hmm.
came on. I think it was his first take on. He
Yep.
dragged three defenders, opened up the space. Caicedo to. Oh, you guys didn't score, but it was just like instantly. Like
Yeah, I
he
saw
came
it
in.
from. Yep. Yep. Yep.
He came in, dragged three defenders, went to Caicedo. Palmer made a run. He almost. If he would have dinked it, that would have been a goal. So
Yeah.
now
Yeah. That's
it's
the
just
one that Palmer tried to put on the right side of Edison. Edison made that save.
yeah.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, nah. So definitely a lot of instances if you guys were a little bit more clinical, you guys would have definitely probably got the 3 points. But no, it's just granted it's early,
So
but these are the things that'll definitely you guys will learn from later on down the road.
yeah, definitely. All right, man. Let's go to your team. What happened, man? I think we all predicted a 1-0 bullshit scoreline by United. Man. I think every single person knew that's what was going to happen. I
Yeah,
think that's what
yeah,
happened.
yeah,
So, chat to me.
yeah. No, just boring game. Just working through the rebuild, working through the day by day process of just getting things together. 1-0, another clean sheet. I think right now we're just focusing on stopping the leakage of goals, especially with the injuries that we've had. So I think right now the main priority is just stop the leaking of the goals at the back. Then at that point, hopefully, once things come together with players coming back, then at that point we can start being able to create more goals or create more chances, so we can give guys like Hoyland and Martial, Rashford, just give them more chances to score more goals. So I
Hmm.
think right now, just see through the games. It's gonna be boring over the next few months, or I won't even say months, but next few weeks for sure. That's going to be a lot of games that we're going to grind out. But I think right now that's the main focus: grind out these games, get the 3 points, stay up in the race, top four. Then at that point, once these players come back, hopefully that will lead to us creating more chances, which will us to hopefully be able to score more goals.
Yeah, I saw a stat that you guys have won the last 4 out of 5 games in the Premier League.
Yep, quote unquote most informed team, so to speak. But
Hey,
based based on
hey.
based on how we're playing and the overall the craziness that's going on at my club at the moment. You would think that shit's just not going well, but at the same time, it's like 4 out of 5 so far. It's not really bad. Granted, we're grinding through them, but I'd rather us grind through them than just go from bad to worse.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, a win is a win. It's a win, right?
A win's a
It's a
win.
3 point. It's a 3 point, man.
Yeah, man. Just take the 3 points where you can get them.
Who scored? Was it a BS
Um,
Bruno Fernandez goal, or what was it?
nah, it was a deflection. Lindelof scored. Got the ball into the box. I think Bruno did shoot it, then it got deflected. Then Lindelof just shot it straight through and scored.
I see, man. So what's next for
Yeah,
your team? I mean, international break is coming up.
yeah. I
Any?
think the first game after that is Everton. A lot of in terms of what's happening. Yeah, first game back is going to be against Everton. I think it's going to be at home. Ten Hag's going to be suspended, so it's going to be McLaren and Vender Garag or whatever who's going to be taking over. So yeah, man. I mean, just hopefully more players are coming back. Apparently, Luke Shaw might be coming back after the break.
Mhm.
I think Leach has a little bit longer to go. Casemiro is going to be closer towards Christmas. So I mean, just one by one more players coming back, and hopefully that'll just, like I said, just help us get things together and just help us at that point create more goal or create more chances, which will lead to hopefully more goals for us.
All right, man. Anything else, man? Anything else that you saw during the weekend? Any surprises that you want to call out?
No,
I mean,
I
look, it
mean,
was
I feel like everything was pretty standard.
yeah.
Results went as expected,
Ooh,
especially with the games today.
Bournemouth beating Newcastle 2-0 though. I mean,
Ooh,
that was a shocker.
yeah, no, definitely a shocker. I guess depth. I don't know if you saw like what's his name? Trippier was going against Newcastle fans,
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah, I
saying
saw
like
that.
how
I saw
many,
that. How
yeah,
many is
like
injured? How many of us are injured? Yeah, I saw that. I saw
yeah,
that. I saw that,
yeah. I
man.
think Bruno G was. I think he didn't play that game either. He's
Mm-mm.
probably one of their best players too. So not just another issue, just depth for them. Once they get a few more players to come in, then at that point, hopefully they're able to be a little bit more competitive. But once those key players start getting nicked up, then it goes very bad for them.
Yeah, yeah. Not that surprising as a result was Everton. Everton is still getting our results. I mean, they
Yeah,
started the
man.
season
Nah,
very
Sean
poor,
Dyche.
man. Sean Dyche.
Yeah, Sean Dyche. I mean, he'll keep him up. He'll keep him up. They're going to scrape through like always. They'll drop points here and there for sure. But I think Sean Dyche will definitely keep him up in the long run.
And Tottenham losing 2-1 to what was
Hey,
dying English,
man.
man.
These
Hey,
injuries,
Spurs
injuries,
are
these
back.
injuries matter.
Spurs are back.
Yeah, man. Van de Ven, Madison, two of their best players. Just can't when those type of injuries happen, like, and then you don't have the depth, your season will easily derail, especially if they're going to be out for a long period of time. So for them,
Hmm.
they don't really have those players behind them that's going to be able to take up. I mean, Eric Dyer, I guess. I don't know who else they have from a creativity standpoint. So when those two aspects, when it doesn't work out for them injuries wise, then at that point, the season could easily derail for them because they just fell apart at the end, really.
Yeah, yeah. Last like what 6 minutes? They considered two in
Hmm
6 minutes. So
It was all
they just
stoppage
fell apart.
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Kenneth. It's been real, man. Anything else?
Nah, man, nah,
Hey,
nah. A
man,
lot of
team,
whispers.
my team are slowly coming back, man. I just can see the spirits in Stamford Bridge is buzzing again, man. Buzzing again. It's buzzing. It's
Nah,
buzzing,
nah.
man.
Atmosphere matters. The atmosphere matters for sure.
It's buzzing
And
again. I mean,
definitely,
I think that game last year we totally lose it. I think the spirit is getting back into the group. Like they can believe now. It's like, all right, we're turning the corner. I think
yeah.
that's what really matters. I mean, just putting the shifts, man. That's something that we didn't do last year. Just putting the shifts. That's all I care about. But we didn't do that
Yeah,
at all last year.
yeah.
So yeah, I was happy to see that, man. Definitely.
No, atmosphere definitely matters. Atmosphere definitely matters. I mean, you can see at Man U, last year was great. Now it's night and day. So, granted, we're
Hmm.
four out of five, but the atmosphere just sucks at the moment. But once ownership gets situated, hopefully that'll just lift it up. That will lead to everything else.
All right, Sergio Radcliffe is my pick. So let's see how that goes.
We'll see, man. We'll see. A lot of whispers. Whispers are increasing. So getting louder and
I
louder.
hear.
So we'll see. We'll see.
All right, man. Appreciate you for joining the Real Football Show, man. As
No, for
always,
sure. Thanks for having me, man. For
appreciate
sure.
you, Kenneth. Thank you, man. All right,
Yep.
man. Peace out.
You too, man.